If you missed part 1 of this series, it's when I arrived in Japan, and it covers the first 3 days of my trip. We visited Shibuya, samurai houses, and even went to a restaurant where we fished for our own meal. So if you'd like to see it, it will be in the description box below, but otherwise enjoy part 2. For breakfast, I had an egg sandwich and a matcha latte from 7-Eleven, and yes, it was very good. We immediately got onto the train to make our way to Odaiba. We had a couple train transfers, and I think our total time was 2.5 hours. It was incredibly worth it. We got to go on the automatic monorail for the first time, and it was so cool. There was no conductor and the doors open automatically, so if you had to close them, you would have to hit the emergency button in order to have more time to open it. It was very cool. The sights were amazing, and I was genuinely obsessed with this train. I took more videos in this. We got to Odaiba, which looked so futuristic. It was so pretty there, and we immediately went to Legoland, which we had to walk through this gate, which was really cool. The elevator was like a party. Genuinely the coolest elevator I've ever been in. Once you entered the main room, it showed you basically how Lego is made step by step. Even had little mini games to teach you how to make it yourself. It was very cool. Oh, wow, what a good tree. When you leave that room, you walk into this hallway that has displays of Tokyo on both sides, made completely out of Lego. The attention to detail was crazy, and you could even interact with parts of the display. Yeah. Cool. They also had a nighttime setting where they made it dark in the room and turned on all of the little lights in the display. This is probably my favorite. It was so pretty. Then we went to a station to make our own cars to race them against each other, and we spent a lot of time here. Come on, go! Yeah! 2, 1, go! 2, 1, go! There were a couple rides there as well. There was this one where we had to sit in a cart and shoot skeletons with like a little laser gun. We didn't know it was going to take our picture. Clearly, we were not prepared. There was a lot to look at. Like, the decor was amazing, and there was even a station where we could make our own jack-o'-lanterns because it was close to Halloween. I'm assuming that they have different events that you can do based on the upcoming holidays. For lunch, we got food at the cafeteria they had there, and they had something called Frankenweenies, which were like these tiny hot dogs with like guacamole and spices on it. They were pretty good. However, I did drop mine, so that proved to be an issue later because I got very hangry. A couple things is I didn't get a video of the magic flying ride because no phones were allowed because you're going up and down in these like hovering carts. But the worker was really nice and let us go on twice, which was fun. There are signs everywhere that said you have to be accompanied by a kid because I do want to preserve that Legoland is for kids. Even though I had such a good time as an adult, I understand the purpose of Legoland is for children. And then another thing that I didn't get videos of was the 4D movie that they played. They have their own little movie theater, which was so cute. It was a 4D Halloween themed movie. There was no words, so nobody had to read words or try to listen to words or anything like that. And it was very exciting. It like sprayed you with water. There was mist, bubbles, air, like wind. It was super fun, and it was cute, and it was probably my favorite part of Legoland completely. It did take us a very long time to get back to our Airbnb. I think the total time was 3 hours. We did, however, run into one of these, which was our first ever encounter. We were really tired from the long journey and the big day that by the time we got back to our Airbnb, we just had snacks and went to bed pretty much. I had breakfast, of course, from 7-Eleven. I had iced matcha and a stuffed pancake with a vitamin jelly drink, which I learned very quickly I would become obsessed with. We made our way to Tato, which took a very long time to the point where we were hungry again by the time we got there. We just so happened to see this Sanrio garden cafe, which was very cool as I love sanrio so much. We did have to drag my nephew in here because I don't think he wanted to come in here because it was too girly. However, me and my sister absolutely loved it. They give you a choice of 2 specialized drinks that come with photo cards. One was a grape soda and one was a coffee. Both came with ice cream and whipped cream. For food, I did get an egg salad sandwich, which was so cute, and they did give me mushroom soup with it. I don't remember what my sister got. I think it was some sort of teriyaki. This face was so cute. I did not want to eat it. They had a lot of props and backgrounds you could take pictures of and with in this cafe. They even had like ring lights and like little accessories as well. It was a very cute hole in the wall that we did not expect to see during our trip, and we are very grateful that we were able to find it. They also had this cute Halloween tree right out front. If you want to go to a cute cafe, I highly recommend this one.
Each tourist spot has different vibes.
I know, right?
Have you waxed yourself with gum?
After the cafe, we walked through this beautiful park to get to the National Museum of Science. This building and architecture was amazing. They also had a giant whale and a train out front, which that was cool. But this entire building was beautiful and we learned quite a lot. Obviously, nothing is in English, so we did use Google Translate for most of the little descriptions they had, but everything was pretty easy to translate. I will say the only issue I had with this museum is the amount of taxidermy. Of course, it is for science and it is like biology related. However, if you are sensitive to taxidermy things, I would highly advise not to go. Most of the things that you saw there were taxidermy. That was the only thing. Otherwise, it was very cool and very educational. After the museum, we did walk around the park a little bit, and this park is absolutely beautiful. One thing about Japan is they will have gorgeous manhole covers literally everywhere, and the park was filled with them. We decided to explore the area a little bit because we were dead set on finding a Don Quixote, and Google Maps said there was one in this like alleyway. Turns out it was actually a night market, and this is the coolest thing we have stumbled upon. We didn't plan to come here, yet this was probably one of the coolest experiences I have ever had. After a very long trip back to our Airbnb and with some rest, we went to our go-to restaurant. It was right around the corner from our Airbnb. The food was good, the hospitality was good. Literally everything about this restaurant is the reason why we went like 5 times during our trip. For breakfast, I had the jelly drink again, iced latte, and this bread thing. I didn't really like the bread thing. The original plan for this day was to go to a treehouse cafe by the ocean in Chiba. However, there was a massive typhoon warning, so we did stay in the area by our Airbnb, and we found this burger place that matched my sister's sweater, and it was only open twice a week for 4 hours, and this was the only day we could go, so we got their honey burgers, which was only about $12 Canadian each for all of this food, which was incredible. We walked around the neighborhood for a little bit, and we did find this cute claw machine and a art museum. Very cool to see, and it overlooked a lot of the neighborhood, which was a very nice view. Although we didn't have crazy plans this day and we didn't take a lot of videos or do too much, I felt like it was definitely needed for the halfway point of our trip, just to relax and kind of restart for our next big adventure the next day. If you would like to see more content about my Japan trip, follow me at katarina.harms with 2 S's on Instagram. And if you would like to see my cosplay content, follow me at CaliCatCos, also on Instagram. That concludes part 2. Please stay tuned for part 3, which will be the last part in my Japan series. Thank you for watching.